will be able to take a big fight against them. The S12K trying to work on out, but Flukev will go down, and Vampire absolutely dunked on the west side of Painan. Excuse me, Twisted Minds dealt with it all right.
Hey, 0 points for Vampire, a very rare occurrence here at the start of the final day. Meanwhile, Alpha 7 starting to heat things up. Carrillo getting caught by Ferrari. That's going to make it tough. He tries to get another shot, but it's going to be Box Gaming that are going to take him out. So a big help there on the side of Alpha 7. Meanwhile, Mafioso busting out the DBS. Oh, what an angle! Are you kidding me?
Very nicely done here. Mafioso really racking it up here for the team. 7 limbs on the board here for Alpha 7. They have a great opportunity here to catch up to 628, as right now, just going to be moving on up very nicely.
Yes, 628 and Vampire are already eliminated. This is Alpha 7's time to shine. 9 eliminations. They have the zone. They could not ask for anything more. They need nothing less than a chicken dinner with more than double-digit eliminations, and the chance is here. It's on a silver platter.
Yeah. Fun fact, actually, up until one of those got confirmed down the line, this was going to be Vampire's only 0-point game of the main tournament. However, it is still, with only 1 point, their lowest scoring game of the main tournament. So there is an opportunity. It's a slim one. But you know what? If that continues, maybe.
I wouldn't say that the door has been opened just yet.
Yes.
But there's a hand on the knob.
I get you.
You know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're saying.
It's on the knob. You know, is it too hot and you can take it off, or are they going to turn it? We'll see here. It really depends on how Alpha 7 finishes this off. Meanwhile, you're going to have them with the high ground in a perfect position. Ooh. This is where they thrive. Meanwhile, every other team is struggling trying to get into this next circle.
Mafioso's popping off on the other side. Alpha 7 is having a right run of this game at the moment here. They're taking fights in long range against Box, against Twisted Minds. They're holding them up on the left-hand side as well here, but looks like Stalwart trying to make a move up here as well. Against the teams on this west side, they're holding out Gladiators, as well as looking at how we're seeing D plus Kia trying to hold it. It's not going to be for them, though, but this could be Stalwarts to win.
100%. Let's see who's going to take it. Oh, Stalwart do get the circle as well. So circle blessed right at the perfect moment. Meanwhile, Mafioso is putting a lot of pressure onto them. They do lose 1 player. So now Alpha 7 will have the player advantage going into the rest of this match, but they do not have the circle. One thing that they do have, though, is that high ground. How are they going to use it? Meanwhile, Gladiators trying to continue to put some points on the board. They want a big chunk of that prize pool, but it's Box Gaming trying to hold them down. Kitsune up in the front line, getting a beautiful knock there, and it's just Duck left, and he's wide in the open, and he's out of there.
Yeah, no way he was able to weather that, as now Box is done here. Meanwhile, actually a really decent angle for Stalwart against what we're seeing from Alpha 7, but that being said, they still have a little bit of a ridge line that they can play with some of these rocks, etc., with some of these trees, but as the circle's going to bear on down, I don't know how you solve the Stalwart problem.
Oh my goodness, Alpha 7 is heating up. 14 eliminations. They don't have the zone, nothing they can do there, but they do go out with one heck of a performance. Now it's Stalwart's time to shine. It's 3 versus 1. Can Kitsune pull off a miracle?
He's a great player, but I think Stalwart might have had the bee's nest kicked coming into day number 3. They had obviously a very rough time in the previous. Goes for the nade, tries to connect, does a bit of damage.
Oh, and now with the off angle, Kitsune, nothing he could do. Beautifully done from Stalwart there. Great teamwork to get the chicken dinner when they need it, and that is a good, solid finish.
Yeah, a nice start here for Stalwart for day number 3, considering there was a few question marks around them. Let's talk about this, though. In the last 2 Sandhawks that they played before this, half of their points almost came from those 2 Sandhawks. So if you think about actually what they're doing here, they're very proficient on this battleground. They're excellent, but it doesn't account for enough games for them to be able to make that proper rise. So Erangel and Miramar has got to tighten up here.
Yep, 100%. And I will say this, if there was one map where they had a chance to possibly catch up on these leaders, it was going to be Sandhawk, right? Perfect scenario for those teams 3rd place on down. You had 628 and Vampire go out with practically nothing. Alpha 7 really capitalized on that. And look at top, you're going to see...
He doesn't look happy.
You're going to see a lot of frustration in these players' face, because right now, even a 18-point chicken dinner, you need more.
I'm going to reel it in, right? This team is capable of more than what we've seen from them over the last 2 days. They are capable of more. This could be the launch pad they need to have a brilliant last day. But we'll see here. It's a lot of points for them to be able to put on the board, start moving up those leaderboards. But for a team like this, they expect top 3.
Yep.
They expect that to be their theirs.
No popping off for them just yet. Ultimate focus in their eyes and ultimate focus on the desk. Let's bring it on over to them.
Some might even say they might be blasting off here. Because Stalwart Esports, I know a certain person on the desk that's extremely happy to see this victory. Yes. And it's not Maxman. It's Seven Worlds Gaming.
I was talking about them. I was hoping that they would end up making that push from what was it, 10th place to hopefully a top 5. I think it might just happen, Max.
Yeah, I mean, it was the perfect timing to leave that compound on the road, right? Because if you go a little bit too early, the side of Alpha 7 are going to be taking shots at you, and you can't really secure those off angles. And the fact they just timed it when Alpha 7 initiated that push downhill is when they can't really take those shots as efficiently, so they can really set up the angle.
Deserved, right? Was in a great position behind the wall. He takes down, I think that was Mafioso trying to come down the hill, and then it was just all downhill from there. I didn't mean to say that twice.
Nice.
Let's take a look actually at the match rankings here in this one. And also, we have to mention 628 losing 2 players extremely early, allowing Alpha 7 to pick up a bunch of points and close this gap for potentially second place. 14 eliminations. I think that's one of the best games, if not the best game we've seen out of Alpha 7.
Yeah, in recent memory, that definitely is going to be the case right here, 7. And a game that they need because 628 not able to really get some points there. And it's not Miramar 2, so we still need to see Alpha 7 do well on that battleground. But onto the lower side of things, we are seeing, in fact, that no points are getting picked up by Vampire Esports. So if the stars align properly, things could be happening up there.
Well,
it really needs to align perfectly,
we'll set it up for now, 7, but...
Yeah, you know what? At least they're trying to catch up to 628 first. Once they catch up to that one, then they can worry about Vampire Esports. Another team that we saw there on the second page, Alter Ego. This was a team that we're talking about. Currently was within the top 5 whenever we started off the day. That's going to hurt them in a big, big way. And also, to be fair, in regards to Stalwart, I feel like we got flashbacks to day 1, first match, where Stalwart ended up getting fed that circle. They were able to take advantage of it, which is ultimately what you want out of a team. But we need to see something happen in the next couple of games. I want to see what's going to happen with this team whenever they don't end up getting that circle. And once again, even though they did get the chicken dinner, Top was a player that got eliminated.
Yeah, I mean, it's the Stalwart rules right now. If the circle doesn't go towards their drop location, they don't get the win. Okay, they just don't want to move away from their drop location, but a little bit of damage coming out from all of these players. Looking at that conversion rate for Top, did he get himself his first elim? He did not. Unfortunately, still not happening for him. Not sure what quite is going on their side, but so Top needs to bring in the points because he was an MVP contender, I would even say, going into this event, but things have just not been going his way at all so far.
I mean, Action and Top were like the duo when we first saw Stalwart rise through the ranks here in PUBG Mobile, but yeah, we don't know exactly what's going on with him. I think he just needs to dye his hair, get that power back in. I don't know what color is going to unleash him if he'll come back with red, orange. The Honor Magic 5 Pro powered by Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 and Honor self-developed GPU. Ooh, this is an interesting shot. GPU Turbo X. I don't even know which camera I'm looking at here, but we're both in there. And all 3 of us made it in the end. Big shout out to them as they are one of our main sponsors here for this event. And obviously all of the players are using this device. And right now it's helped DRS get themselves a victory, but not before. I mentioned you guys over looking at TikTok. Make sure you search for the hashtag PMWI 2023 and join in all the activity. And make sure you get your own videos as well, because there will be in-game rewards that you need to pick up.
All right.
I want some of that.
I know.
I wish we could do content as good as the Indo talent, because their TikToks, Instagrams are amazing. And whenever I try to get us to do silly dances, it doesn't end well.
It's a bit cringe, yeah.
It's a bit cringe.
Just a little bit. Just a tiny bit.
Tiny bit.
Talk about
Let's take a
cringe
look
goes
at
to your solo shot.
Speaking of cringe, let's take a look at the match rankings here. 15 points for Stalwart picked up. Again,
Wow.
another good game for them. They don't close things out with the victory, but this is them starting to get on par with what we expected coming into this event, Maxman.
They've woken up. I like to see more of that, please, from Stalwart Esports. Yeah, I mean, this game pretty much melted down to like the bare minimum. 7 is the winning team from the west side of the road, the winning team of the southern eastern side of the road, and the winning team of the northeastern side of the road. And then it ended right on top of it, which I'm not going to lie, 7, I didn't really expect, but one team that came out on top then was DRS, who was just able to clear all the teams in Milta in strong fashion. Not as many limbs as I initially expected from a finish like that, but at least a lot more aggressive in a similar way to what we saw from them in All-Stars.
Yep, and I enjoyed the patience that they showcased early on. I think at one point we saw a nice 4-man split that they have in Milta, and then they decided to put it together. Once they saw the chance, they decided, I think maybe they had like 8 teams left. They had 0 ilms, and then all of a sudden, that's when they start fragging out, and that's when we saw the players from DRS take on Infinity IQ. I'm not gonna lie. Actually, I'll talk about it a little bit later because I actually agree with something that Hajix was saying. But Delta X, 462 damage.
He's a standout player. Look at that. Oh, their rules is going to be the one to get himself 2 limbs. Yeah, as we said, not as elimination fragging heavy. Though I do, as you said, you have that split from DRS, so they slowed things down a little bit. And I feel if a team went a lot faster than what DRS displayed in this game, then you're going to be fighting Falcons on the edge. You wanted to let teams try and leapfrog their position in the city so you could maneuver your way through, which was a good approach from DRS. Sometimes you have to play passive, and I feel like this is a situation that they're definitely cool for that.
Yeah, and for me, what I wanted to mention, I wish G Gladiators would have decided to push onto, try to third party, right? DRS and Infinity IQ. They would have ended up winning the match.
Even before that, I feel like the moment Infinity IQ go like towards the warehouse position, you can breach it. I feel like that fight versus Alter Ego was unnecessary. And because of that, Fireflux get involved, take a few extra shots, and Gladiators just don't take the move. Because the early rotations were really smart in the Northern Edge around, I think you had 6-8, you had Alpha 7. I like that, but that was the game-winning play we needed from Gladiators, and unfortunately, they didn't pull the trigger on it.
Well, you know what I liked, actually? Was something that I think the casters noticed and we noticed. That Top, able to finally get his first elimination here at PMWIs. We'll take a look at his stats across the days. I mean, the thing is, these are averages, and we obviously haven't had too many games so far today, just 2 of them, but you can see he's already on track to perform much better than he was in the previous days.
This is the big one right here. 0 ilms, 0 ilms, 2.5. This is kind of what we expected out of him, right? We always talk about the top players being able to have, what, a 3 average ilm?
Okay.
And look at the survival time. Insane.
Okay. Night and day, fair to say here, coming out. I mean, 2 nights and 1 day so far for Top.
I mean, maybe this has been what Stalwart's been lacking, right? Maybe some underperformance out of Top, and they've obviously been struggling quite a bit. They came in as the majority of the talent's favorite to win.
For in Primorsk at this point. You know that no teams are dropping down here alongside you. Spread yourself out, get that loot on the board, and again, I feel like start to take some of those priority locations a little bit north of you.
Yeah, I think you want to definitely get set up as early as you possibly can. And we're still seeing pretty similar timing when it comes to rotations. I think here, as we see Alpha 7 full sending it on most likely North George. Yep, they're going to be heading over here to North George, looting it all up. And then most likely he's going to take that bridge on down into the zone. Fireflux, Soulless, hopping in the ride as well. Fireflux currently sitting in 10th place, all right? Good game here. They could jump all the way to 4th place.
They could.
That is crazy. It's honestly nuts. We haven't really talked about that, how nuts the difference in points from pretty much 10th all the way to 4th places.
So usually I describe that as how big the mid pack is, right? If you think about it. So yeah, as you say, 88 points, 4th place, Gladiators, down to, as you say, Fireflux, 10th place, 72 points. So the difference in 6-7 spots is only about 15 points. Jeez. So huge moves could quite easily make a seismic shift in how much money you're walking away with out there. It's it's really, really down to the wire for a lot of these guys who know at this point they're probably out the running for #1, but there is so much more for them to play for.
100%. So much more to play for indeed. Let's see how it's all going to work out here because, you know, when you have such an amazing prize pool that we see here, it really just incentivizes teams to just give it their all.
Every game.
Even those squads at the bottom. Looking at it right now, so we're talking about that difference, right? From fourth place, just $100,000.
It's all right.
You know, just $100,000.
Pretty good, I'm going to be real.
No big deal, you know?
Yep.
10th place, 49,000. Okay, that's a big difference.
And anybody in that range could easily jump and leap and attack that 4th place location, is what you're saying.
Yeah, 100%. And you know what? I will say, $100,000, not bad for 3 days' work.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna say that's pretty good.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Pretty good indeed, right? It's absolute insanity here. As okay, we're seeing nice interesting rotations from D plus Kia.
I've got 5 on them showing that as a replay later on. They like showing their car flips and things like that.
So, you know what they really do? They always seem to kind of like a nice little flip over. Yeah. And meanwhile, we're watching Tianba rotate over here. Next, this zone, man. Oh, we're seeing a nice migration come from the top. I am not shocked to see Vampire coming into this circle ultra late. I think they're just looking to play it just safe as possible, put a couple points on the board, just take the bag home.
There's some teams that could easily hold them out. I'm hearing some cheering going on as well.
Yeah.
As the fans in the crowd at the moment here, looking hopefully for some of their favorites to be able to make a splash here, and it's getting to midnight. It's getting to those later hours, not literally, but in terms of the tournament as a whole, it's getting towards the very end by which you can start racking up those points. So it's a slow start here for this one, basically because for a lot of these teams, the playing path was just very far away from this circle, so nobody really wants to have to
match for Gladiators and Stalwart.
Yeah.
Okay, because obviously those guys want to at